Hi everyone, my name is Dylan. I'm from South Africa and I cover all things related to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, I've been in cryptocurrencies for about a year now, and I've invested in ICOs since about September 2017. Now, the first ICO that I invested in did not go that well. I invested in a project called Black Moon. It looked very promising, but at the end of the day, I had to sell at a 50% loss. The next one that I invested in was Icon. Now, Icon, you will maybe know if you've been in the cryptocurrency space for a while, but Icon is currently sitting at about $4 and the ICO price was $1.1. Now, I'm not going to do the maths there, but you can see that this coin went up over 40 times its initial price. Now that is major gains, and at a time it went to about $12. That's over 100x. So if you invested just $10, you'd have 100 times that. So with ICOs, you can see that there is a potential to make a lot of money, but it is a high risk, high reward. Now, before I get into what is an ICO and if it's really worth it, if you would like to get more from me and hear more of my voice and follow my videos that I do, you can subscribe to my channel. I also recently spoke about my portfolio and the amount of money that I set aside to invest in potential ICOs in the future. I've also got an Facebook group where I have different discussions and people ask questions, and I'm really trying to build a community there, so you can also join that. Links are in the description, by the way. So, what is an ICO? An ICO is basically like a fundraising or a crowdfunding system. In general markets, they call it an IPO, but I'm not going to get into that. But a company that wants to go public and that wants to have their product launch or any sort of thing in that sense, they would have a crowdfunding stage. Now here it gives an opportunity for normal people like you and I, or big venture capitalists or people from the outside, to invest into the company. Now, if you are a venture capitalist, you could maybe invest into their company, and you will have shares and you will actually have voting rights and help them with their company, or you may be an advisor, or you'd have something like me, for instance, that is a very smaller investor that can invest to it early on before it is launched to the public onto these exchanges like Binance, and I can then invest at a very lower price, sometimes get a bit of a bonus, not always, but I have that early adopters advantage. Now the risk is it can fail. In comparison to other investments or buying coins on an exchange, this is a very high risk but a high reward. Now let's get into that and why this could or could not be worth investing into. Now this is an ICO tracker, and you'll see that over the last few years, especially in 2017, we've had really a lot of new projects, new ICOs coming onto the market. Some of these raised a lot of money, some of them a lot less money, and not all of them succeeded. And in the end of the day, it is predicted, and I kind of agree with that 90 to 95% of these projects will go to zero. They will fail. You can't have so many projects on the market. Think of social media platforms like Mixit or MySpace. Those sort of projects don't exist anymore, and they've been replaced with projects like WhatsApp or like Facebook. And that is exactly what's going to happen to all these new ICOs that are launching on blockchain in cryptocurrency. Now here is a top 10 or 11 or something of the most money that has been raised for a single project. Filecoin is one of them. They had their ICO in September, and it is $257 million that was raised, and at the moment I don't see anything happening with them. Another one is Tezos. They raised $232 million, and unfortunately this is a list of ICOs that have failed, but unfortunately Tezos is on its way to zero. So it raised so much money, and the people that invested into that do not have details, but they are basically losing their money, and this is basically going to zero. So that it does have its risks, but it does have its rewards, so you need to be careful. Now this is a list of the top ICOs ever. Now this one, NXT, was launched in 2013, and that is 1.3 million%. Now imagine you invested $1. You can just do the math and see that you would have millions at the moment. And a few other popular projects, IOTA, Neo, Ethereum, also doing really, really well. So is it worth investing in ICOs? I would say yes, it is, but it's high risk, high reward. You could very easily lose your money, just as what happened with Tezos. There's people that have scams. They raise money, smaller projects, but they raise money and run away with the project. You need to be careful. Now in my next video, I'm going to take a look at how to invest in these ICOs. Go through a step-by-step, setting up a wallet, how you actually register, going through all the procedures so that you make sure that you invest in good projects, but also safely, and that you don't make stupid mistakes and lose money. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I do have some ICOs that I recently invested into and that I'm looking to invest into soon. Quite soon. So if you want more on that, I will be making some updates on my Cryptonatic group, so do go and join that, link down in the description. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you in that next video describing how you can invest in ICOs. Cheers.